Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you, Ranking Member Feinstein and members of the Judiciary Committee and other distinguished guests who are here. I'm pleased to appear before the committee to voice my strong support of Professor Richard Myers to serve as the Eastern District Judge in North Carolina. I also want to welcome the Honorable David Sentell, friends of the Professor James Caldelmo and John Golder, who have worked closely with Professor Myers through his career. I'm also pleased to be present for a hearing where the entire panel has deep North Carolina connections with our other nominees, Karen Marston and Anurag Singhal, having both received their law degrees from my alma mater, Wake Forest. This committee is charged with reviewing Professor Myers' career and his qualifications, and this is a weighty and important task. I'm honored to be able to introduce Professor Myers, and I believe his story is one we can all admire and appreciate. Professor Myers immigrated to the United States from Kingston, Jamaica at the age of 10 and moved with his family to Wilmington, North Carolina in the eastern part of our state, where his mother and brother still reside. He's first-generation college student. Having received his undergraduate degree from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, following graduation, he worked as a reporter for the Wilmington Morning Star, covering local news and issues ranging from criminal cases to business development in Wilmington's thriving coffee and movie industries. From there, he headed to the law school at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, graduating magna cum laude, and began his legal career as a clerk for Judge David Sentell on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Professor Myers then went into private practice, working at a large law firm on white-collar crime and environmental and regulatory compliance issues. While he was there, 18 years ago today, our nation was attacked on September the 11th. And while this act of evil was a turning point for our country, it was also a turning point for Professor Myers. Like so many others in the wake of the tragedy, he answered the call to service, dedicating his legal abilities to our nation's judicial system as a U.S. Attorney, Assistant U.S. Attorney. He served first in Central California and then in the Eastern District of North Carolina. Professor Myers said that choosing this new path, and I quote him, was something that I felt I could do and that I owed the country that had been really good to my family. Today is the 18th anniversary, as I said, of the attacks. We remember the great loss America suffered that day. But I'm also grateful that Professor Myers is still answering the call to serve North Carolina and his country by being here today. After the U.S. Attorney's Office, Professor Myers became a professor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, instructing the next generation of lawyers to be people who, in his own words, and I quote, do the right thing every day. In this role, he's contributed not only to the education of his law students, but he supported their work for public interest organizations. For 15 years, he served as the auctioneer of the Carolina Public Interest Law Organization's auction, which raises money, enabling students to work in jobs such as the public defender or district attorney's office or a nonprofit organization. Mr. Chairman, I'd challenge him to display his auctioneering skills to you today. He's also done pro bono work consulting on his own for numerous nonprofits, has made it a priority to mentor students aspiring to serve in public service careers, and has given his time and his legal ability to ensure that our criminal justice system truly is just. Professor Myers is well regarded, well qualified, and I have faith in his ability to do the right thing every day in serving as judge for the Eastern District of North Carolina. Now, in full disclosure, there are some who opposed his nomination and expressed open hostility at his choice to change career paths. They were, and they are, the students at the law school at the University of North Carolina today that were signed up for his class this semester, who got back to school only to find out that he was on sabbatical for some unknown reason. Well, we know the reason today. He's been nominated to be a judge. I would suggest to my colleagues this is a true statement of his qualifications for the job he's been nominated and asked to serve in, that the students that look up to professors are the ones that judged this decision as their loss. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak on his behalf today, and it's my hope that you will swiftly confirm him for his judgeship. I thank the chair and the ranking member.
Thanks, Senator Burr.